on, everybody? This is Chris Classic dropping a car vlog. I hope you guys and gals are having a wonderful day. Nobody tells you today, remember that God loves you, Christ loves you, and I love you as well. As you can see, with daylight savings and everything, it is daytime. Y'all know it be looking like 11 p.m. when I be going to work. That's a good thing. God bless you guys. Make sure you subscribe to the Take It Home podcast, where I talk about wrestling topics and I put up my matches as Classic Alpha, professional wrestler of 13 years. Next month, 14 years. The Lord see me there. Make sure you look at the matches that I have. I have a playlist of all of my matches from all the years, from last year, a couple years ago, and stuff like that. So make sure you hear. That is me and my wife's professional wrestling company. We are getting ready for our first event of 2026. This Saturday, February 21st, Big Business, B-I-G Business, Dyer, Indiana. Harold's Private Venue. Get your tickets now on Eventbrite. They're $5 off, but they will be $5 more at the door. Bars. We're also getting ready for our second show, which will be May 23rd, called 20. We celebrate our 20th show in existence, so it has to be a very big, very important show. Every show is very, very important, but I try to go above and beyond when it goes to the every fifth show. Also, February 21st, after I leave Big Business, I'm going to Griffith, Indiana to be at Backbreaker Wrestling present Double Down. I make my debut there. So if you are in the area and if you haven't got enough of watching me wrestle on the 21st, follow me from Dyer to Griffith. Wait, I'm a little parched. Got to get used to drinking non-soda products. I gave up pop for Lent. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Y'all pray for me. Lord have mercy. But I need to, man. I drink too much pop. According to the newsletter, Dave Meltzer and them, that's what we're gonna call him, Dave Meltzer and them. They had a list of what was the best and what was the worst. Now, we all know, for the most part, it'd be more biased towards AEW. Like, they don't care much about the WWE stuff. Like, I think they go out of their way to show that they don't like certain things in WWE. I remember, like, one year, Moxley won Wrestler of the Year, and then these shows was considered the worst from WWE. And, excuse me again, it wasn't even bad. It was just like, and I shared it, I was like, oh, just say you don't like WWE. Like, I'd rather you just say top AEW, whatever. But they do other stuff. I think they said Mystico was the #1 wrestler or whatever, but still. So, like, usually, the tradition of almost a lot of stuff is worse. They said Booker T was the worst commentator. Some people felt a certain way. Some people said it's true. Some people said it was not, and stuff like that. But there was one thing that I did agree on. I did agree that John Cena versus Cody Rhodes was the worst match of 2025. We spoke about it many times, and here we go speaking about it again. What's going on? God bless. We're going to speak about it again because some people will be like, well, they probably saw worse matches and stuff like that, and maybe you have, to each their own, but I am going to elaborate on why that match was bad, because it wasn't just the wrestling alone, it was also the build-up to it, and it was also the aftermath that contributed to it. So that's what it is, right? First of all, they did hype it up. Usually every WrestleMania match is deemed as a hype up, even if it's a match that's like made up the week of. Like, it's WrestleMania, it's the biggest wrestling show ever, right? So you expect it to be all out. You expect it to be good, even if you're not interested in the feud or the matches. You expect it. Jay and Jimmy Uso, everybody wanted that match to be so good and so perfect. I wanted the match to be good. They had vignettes of them as kids acting like they was fighting, growing up and stuff. And my brother's keeper, the video, all of that stuff is good, all of it. I'm great. What's going on? So it's like all of it was so good, and then that match to be poopy water. Like, it was just bad. It was just horrible. And it's like, even to this day, people still talk about that match because it just wasn't that good. It's just like, man, like, dude, what was y'all doing up there? Like, yeah, it had so much promise, and the fact that it just wasn't good, man. It just wasn't good. But going back, all right, what's going on? Going back into it. John Cena versus Cody Rhodes, WrestleMania 41 was the worst match because of everything that was involved with it. We're talking about Travis Scott, we're talking about The Rock, we're talking about the heel turn. We talk about all that. See, with The Rock, right, wanting Cody's soul, that was interesting. It was very Diddy-ish, but it was very, very interesting about what they were going to do with the storyline. Especially because everybody, just like when Cena was wrestling a lot, wanted him to turn heel so bad. They wanted him to be so bad. They wanted it to be so bad. Please turn heel. Please, I'm begging you. Just push a baby. Just do something. Like drink somebody's drink. Like, please do something. And you know, The Rock kept saying that I can open doors for you and all of this other stuff. And, you know, sort of like some Illuminati stuff. Anyway, if you know, you know. But it was kind of interesting for the most part because Cody looked like he was thinking about it for a bit, right? Like he was thinking about it. You know, John Cena wins the Elimination Chamber and stuff like that. And then we go, oh, we get John Cena versus Cody because John Cena has been chasing the 17 championship ghost for a while. And, you know, he's come up short. He's got eliminated. He's gotten beaten. He one-on-one matches. He's gotten beaten. And all of that stuff. So, yeah, it was all right, cool. We get to see it, you know. It might happen. It literally might happen because it's John Cena's last year. John Cena is with Cody when Cody tells The Rock to go do what to himself. And then when he hugs Cena, Cena has the evil look. People going crazy. John Cena beats up The Rock. I mean, not The Rock, Cody. And I'm like, oh, snap. Everybody's talking about it. Cena finally turned heel. People talking about it. Even people who aren't fans of WWE anymore was talking about it. Now, I had my reservations about certain things, especially about Cena aligning with The Rock because it didn't make sense because Cena is a successful actor. He's not as successful as The Rock, but he's getting there. But, you know, it does get like sponsorships and commercials and stuff. So I was like, okay, why are they even together? But they tried to clean it up and say, oh, well, he just had a desire to win the 17th championship by any means necessary. He was tired of the fans. After 20-something years of them booing him, he just got tired of it. Like, they tried, they kind of hit, but they kind of missed at the same time. Travis Scott having been a history, I know WWE can try to edit his picture and try to crop it because he's no longer scheduled to wrestle for the company. It's too late. Social media, we got it, we see it, it's on YouTube, it's everywhere. You can sit here and do all of that stuff. Y'all put him in part of something that could have been so historic and monumental. It's historic, but it's historic only for what Cena did, not for what he did and stuff like that. So, still, leading up to the promos between him and Cody, it was good, it was alright, no Rock, no The Rock, no Dwayne, none of that stuff, none of it. WrestleMania comes in, it happens, people buying shirts expecting The Rock to be there because The Rock is part of the storyline and all of this other stuff, and then the match happens. And before Travis Scott, I know y'all probably think I'm just getting on Travis Scott. Before Travis Scott even came into the ring, the match was bad. It was already bad. The match was bad, y'all. Y'all know the match was bad. That match was bad. It was bad. The pacing was off. Cena's punches wasn't that good. Cena's bumping wasn't that good. Cody looked a little, I don't want to say lost, but he didn't look like himself. He didn't look like the American Nightmare. He looked like the American Slumber, but like he didn't want to really be there. I don't know if it's because he was losing the belt, because he had it for a year. I don't know what it was, but it just wasn't that good. The chemistry for that match wasn't that great. Now, their rematch at SummerSlam was a lot better, but look at what had to happen. No holds barred and entrance stuff, and Cena had to turn back into the good guy. Like, they're sitting here trying to atone for a sin that was just basically an abomination, and they shouldn't have did it. It was bad. It was bad. It wasn't magical, and that's another thing too. Like, it's supposed to be a magical match. Like, I do understand that Cody was 40 years old, but he wasn't supposed to move like he was 40 in other sports, if you get what I'm saying when I say that. Like, it just wasn't good. Like I said, Cena just was not on his square, and I understand he was wrestling this year and stuff like that, and it was just like the pacing was just very, very off. So even the aftermath of it, the match was so bad, The Rock had to talk on Pat McAfee's show saying he didn't even be involved because there was no point in him being involved. And people in the higher ups, they had different ideas and stuff like that, and it just didn't work for him. He said he would have did it better. I don't think The Rock would have did it better, though. I think The Rock would have came out and put himself in the match and have him win the belt. It would have made it a triple threat. That's just how The Rock thinks, y'all. Let's be honest. I don't think The Rock would have did anything better. You know, then Travis Scott shows up, distract Cena. Like literally, like think about that. Think about this, guys. John Cena needs Travis Scott to beat Cody Rhodes to become a 17-time champion. Travis Scott. He needed Travis Scott. First of all, when Travis Scott music hit, Cena was smiling. And Travis Scott took so long to come down the ring. He is in the running for slowest interest with The Undertaker and Triple H and Randy Orton. Like, geez, bro. Like, did y'all tell him, like, what's going on? And even before that, at Elimination Chamber, like, he slapped the mess out of Cody. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what was he? Yeah, sure, number one artist, one of the number one artists, but no. The man was smoking coming out with Jey Uso. Y'all trying to say it was Sage. Well, no dang Sage. Ain't nobody saging in the ring. Well, easy. Kyrie Irving? Like, what's going on here? It was bad. Shout out to you, Arshawn. And it's like, yeah, it was bad. Y'all hyped it up. It disappointed. And the follow-up was bad. When The Rock said it was bad, Cody said it was bad, Cena said it was bad. Now, I'm not real big on wrestlers talking about behind the scenes and stuff of matches that happened, but the fact that these two guys that was in the match saying that it was bad says something. So yes, it deserves to be the worst. It deserves to be the worst. It's not just for the actual match, it's for the build-up, it's for the hype, and it's how they did things. It was very, very bad. Dave Meltzer says a lot of things that's anti-WWE, or he'll be like, I just don't get it. I just don't get it. But honestly, they was on the money. I don't know if it was just straight Dave, because I know they say they vote about what's the worst this and what's that, but whatever that happened, I 100% agree. I 100% agree. I remember WrestleMania 20. And people were saying that Goldberg versus Brock Lesnar at WrestleMania 20 was the worst match. Now, to me, I thought the match was good for what it was. I do think that they try to do something that they are not known for doing. And a lot of people were upset that they were leaving. That was like their last match in WWE for a minute because contracts, you know. Goldberg wanted to do what he wanted to do. Brock wanted to try football and all of that other stuff. And, you know, he did UFC and stuff like that. So people already knew that these two guys were leaving. So that's why a lot of people already crapped on him. I do think people's hearts were broken that these two guys were leaving. I do think that's what made that match considered the worst. It was not a bad match. It was not a bad match at all. It was hyped, overly hyped. It was a dream match for me. And I think maybe because, and I'll be honest, maybe because it was a dream match for me, I give it grace. Like I said, it wasn't perfect. I think they had better matches afterwards, the shorter matches, because it made more sense to me. But still, I don't think what they did was very bad. You know, I didn't even think they needed Stone Cold as a enforcer. But I get it. Stone Cold gave a stunner to both of them, and everybody went home happy. But still, I do think that was the worst. I'm including matches that I did see that I probably said was bad, and I wasn't happy to see. But this was worse. You have a landscape, the biggest platform, WWE and stuff like that. You have the biggest platform, Peacock and all of this other stuff. And you do that. So yeah, this is the worst match because it was I don't even want to say overhyped. It was hyped because it's WrestleMania and it was bad. So I do understand why. And there's a lot of people, they aren't giving pushback to it. They're like, yeah, it was pretty bad. It was bad. It was bad. Like, we knew that Cena wasn't Super Cena anymore. We knew he wasn't. But good Lord, like, like even some of his matches afterwards, they was just okay. Him and Orton was good until Orton started RKOing the security and stuff. I was just like, okay, this is getting a little hunky-dory. But other than that, we ain't talking about that one. It wasn't as bad as Cody versus John Cena. And low-key, I was disappointed more than anything. I was like, man, especially when WrestleMania 40 was dang near perfect. WrestleMania 40 was dang near perfect. Like, both nights. Despite the fact of me not liking 2 nights of WrestleMania, it was dang near perfect. I think the pacing was good. I thought, for the most part, it was good. I think people went home happy. You don't always have to go home happy at WrestleMania, but I do think with everything that they was doing with Cody and Roman, like, I was really invested in it. I know a lot of people was like, you know, Cody shouldn't have won the Royal Rumble again, and he should have just, you know, just been a victim on Roman or whatever, but I did like it, just in case they had to revenge. You just talking manias. I'm just talking about just what was the worst match. But WrestleMania 40 to me was one of the best WrestleManias in a while. It was definitely good. Like the other ones, 39 and all that, those were good too. Like when COVID happened, WWE stepped up a lot of their stuff. I know a lot of people didn't like the Thunderdome idea. A lot of people questioned how could wrestling be essential and they could wrestle with each other. I know a lot of people were saying that stuff, but still, I do think that they did improve with a lot of stuff. Worst match for me was Jay versus Jimmy at Bad Blood. But Mania, Cody versus Cena. Well, shoot, Jay and Jimmy at WrestleMania was bad. It was bad. It was dumpster juice. It was like, what are y'all doing? Why did y'all do this? Why did y'all do this? What is going on with this? But yeah, I'm at work. But yeah, it was some bad matches. But worst match of 2025 was definitely John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. Because, man, it just could have been better. But let me know what you guys think in the chat. I hope you guys and gals have a wonderful day. This is Chris Classic. Let's take it home.